For dimensional homogeneity, we'll apply Rayleigh method and we'll check whether it is a dimensional homogeneity or not. Or these two methods are used for deriving an expression. For example, f is equal to m into a. So this equation they have derived on what basis? Maybe they use Rayleigh method or they be used by Bucking-Pythera method. Use any one of these dimensional analysis method, they have derived this expression. Similarly, y is equal to square root of 2gh. This equation is also derived using any one method. Either you can apply Rayleigh method or you can apply Pythera, Bucking-Pythera method. So first what we do, we will consider the Rayleigh method. What is Rayleigh method? Rayleigh method, this method is used for determining expressions, that is equations or functions which depends upon maximum 3 or 4 variable only. For example, I will write what is the meaning of this Rayleigh method. Example, so this method is used for determining the expressions. Expressions is nothing but the formulas or equations. For example, you have to write one equation, that is f is equal to ma, or we need to write velocity equation, or you need to write density equation. We need to write any equation. You are doing some research work, you are going to conduct some experiment. So based on the experimental results, you are going to write your own formula. Okay, that may be used for any higher education purposes. So I need to write one equation, that is function f. So this function f is depends on number of variables. Here, for example, velocity depends on two variables, g and h. So forces depends on mass, acceleration. Acceleration indirectly depends on meter per second square, that is time and length. Similarly, you take power. Power is 2 pi nt divided by 60,000. So this power depends on speed and the torque. Understood? So this power is one function. This depends on speed, time, torque, etc. So instead of taking particular speed and torque, gh, mass into acceleration, I will take some terms x1. X1 is one variable. X2 is one variable. X3 is one variable. Similarly, X4 is one variable. So in this equation f depends on 4 variables. So this f function, that is left hand side, we will call it as dependent function or dependent variable. So this dependent variable is dependent on these 4 variables. These 4 variables we will call it as independent variables. Understood? That is the meaning of the Rayleigh method. This method is used for determining the expressions. Expression means some function which depends upon maximum 3 or 4 variables. I have considered 4 variables. If the number of variables are more than 4, this Rayleigh method will be difficult to derive or difficult to analyze dimensional method. Understood? Then we go for Bucking-Pythera. Understood? Now what we do, we will derive one expression using Rayleigh method. Okay, so Rayleigh method, what I said, I will consider one for example x. X is a function. X is depends on a function of x1, x2, x3, x4, so on. I am considering xy, x's, x1, but it is difficult. They are use the word only 3 or 4 variables. Okay, so x1, x2, x3 are independent variables. These are dependent variables. If I remove this function, I will take some constant k. K is a one constant I have taken. So once you remove the constant, what Rayleigh method has suggested is x1 to the power of, you take one variable, one constant, arbitrarily constant a. Similarly, for variable x2, you take another arbitrarily constant b. Similarly, x3 variable, take arbitrarily constant c. X4 variable, take arbitrarily constant d. Okay. Now, after that, you need to write dimension of x1. Dimension means this x1 dimensions may be in terms of length, mass, and time. Similarly, you write the dimensions of x2. I don't know what is x2. X2 may be density, x2 may be velocity, x2 may be anything. Okay, so we write dimensions of x2, dimensions of x3, dimensions of x4. Okay, you write all the dimensions and calculate a, b, c, d value and compare with the dimensions on the left hand side. This is also function, it has also some dimensions. There will be some dimensions. Don't worry, we'll take one real example and we'll calculate arbitrary constant a, b, c, d, etc. Only understand the procedure, how the Rayleigh method is applied. Okay, so left hand side dimensions equal to right hand side dimensions, equate both, calculate a value, b value, c value and d value. Once you calculate a, b, c, d, then you substitute in the same equation here in this equation, then you will get one x equation that is called as Rayleigh method equation. Okay, or equation derived using Rayleigh method. Okay, so what we do, we'll consider an equation so that you'll understand better. So in general, it will be difficult for you to understand. Only my intention is to remember what is dependent variable. Please understand what is dependent variable, what is independent variables. Okay, in the Rayleigh method, we are using only 3 or 4 variables, not more than that. Okay, once you take the variables, remove the function, you take some constant k value, some constant a value, b, a, b, some I have taken constant k. Once you write the constant k in the equations, take arbitrarily constant for each variables, power of each variables. A is arbitrary constant for x1 variable, b is arbitrarily constant power for x2 variable. Similarly, c and d are power for variables 3 and 4. Not more than 4 variables we need to consider because clearly they said it is only for maximum 4. So write the dimensions of x1. For example, after writing dimensions, it may get lt minus 1 to the power of a. x2, you are getting mt to the power of b. x3, example I am telling, not only example, lm to the power of c. x4 dimensions, I'm not using the word units, it is dimensions. x4 unit is m, length and t, for example, to the power of d. So what we have done, you have written dimensions of all these variables on the right hand side of the equation. Similarly, you write the dimensions of this function x on the left hand side. What I will get, okay, lmt. Assume I am getting all 3. There is no rule that you should get only 2 fundamental variables. It may be 3, depends upon the equation. Okay. So once you write all the equations, compare the power of L, M, T on both the side. For example, if you take left hand side, what is the power of L on the left hand side? It is 1. 1 is equal to. What is the power on the right hand side? L. Here it is L, A. A is, there is no L in the second variable, so you neglect. There is a L here. So what is the power of L? It is 1, 1 into C. So plus C. What is the power of L here? 1, 1 into D, D. So A plus C plus D is equal to 1. So this is equation 1 you will get. Similarly, you equate power of M on both the side, power of time on the both the side. Then you will get 3 equations, 3 unknowns. So all A, C, D value will be calculated. Come back to this equation and you substitute A, B, C value, you will get one equation. That is a dimensional equation using a Rayleigh method. Okay, that we do. How we'll derive? We'll take one expression on some variables and we'll derive the equation for a dimension using Rayleigh method. Okay, what is the limitation? Dear students, you remember these limitations of Rayleigh method. Limitation is if the number of independent variables more than 4, then it is very difficult to find expression or equation or formula for the dependent variable using Rayleigh method. So that is the limitations. If he has not mentioned in the numerical statement use Rayleigh method or use Beking-Pai theorem, if the number of variables are less than 4, you go ahead with Rayleigh method. And you see how many variables are there in the statement of the numerical. If the number of variables are more than 4, okay, you go for Beking-Pai theorem. Don't waste your time in doing our analysis in the Rayleigh method. Okay, so what we do, we will consider one example. Okay, so this example, this numerical problem, we will solve, we'll write an expression, we'll derive an expression using Rayleigh method. Using Rayleigh method, RAYLEIGH. So using Rayleigh method clearly. Okay, all of you read this statement of the numerical. The time period T of a pendulum depends upon the length of the pendulum L. So T is a dependent variable. T depends on length. He is using the word. So T is dependent variable. It is a function of length L. And acceleration due to gravity. So it is also depends on G value. That is acceleration due to gravity. So derive an expression for the time period using Rayleigh method. So they have considered one, they have taken one pendulum. L is the length and mass of this ball, the load is m. So whenever you consider m, certain height, acceleration due to gravity will come into the picture. Okay. Now we'll derive what is the expression for the time period t for this pendulum using Rayleigh method. First, I will write the solution. Solution will write. So what are the how many variables they have given? There are only 2 variables. Totally 3 variables. How many variables total? There are 3 variables. I will write variables. 3 variables means time period is 1 variable, length is also 1 variable, and acceleration due to is 3 variables. There are total 3 variables. Out of 3, these 2 are independent variables. T is dependent variables because time T depends on length and due to gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So what I do is I will write T is a function of length and acceleration due to gravity, that is A. Acceleration, I will write in words. So in the previous step, I told T is function. We have taken in this way. X is a function of x1, x2. Here x1 is one variable, x2 is another variable. So what you have to do, what is the next step? You remove this functional constant and take k. So same method I will do. T I will write as it is. T stands for time period. You remove the function symbol, I will take some constant k. So length I will write as it is L. L I will write. Acceleration due to gravity G I will write as it is. So within the bracket. Now once you taken the constant k, take some arbitrary constant for the power L, that is A. Here G you take B. If you have another variable, the power will be C. If you have fourth variable, the power will be D, like that. Okay. What is A and B? A and B are arbitrarily constant. K is also a constant. Okay. So on the left hand side, it is T. Now I will write the dimensions. What we do, we will write the dimensions. So this equation I will take number 1. What is the dimensions of the time? This is T is time. What is the dimension? Time is T. Okay. For L, length dimension is L, mass dimension is M, time dimension is T. So length, mass, here is a time is that I have taken T. T is equal to K, you write as it is. Okay, bracket L. What is the length? Already I have taken L. So L to the power of A. I don't know the dimensions of the G as of now because G is a derived quantities because G depends on 2 variables. Dear student, G is meter per second square. It is a unit. So meter per second square means how many variables are there? 2 variables. So G is acceleration due to gravity is derived quantities or secondary quantities. It depends on some primary quantities, meter per second square. So meter is L, that is length. Second square is time. So LT square or L to the power of minus 2 to the power of B I will write. So what I have done below the equation number 1, I have written dimensions of length and as well as acceleration due to gravity. Okay, this is a pendulum now. The length is 1 dimension and it is moving some oscillation it has some mass, so acceleration will be considered in this diagram. So a g value will come to the picture. So dimensions of g is lt minus 2. Anyway, I have shown you how you got l to the power of minus 2. So next step, what I do is compare the powers of both the side, equating or equating the powers nothing but these powers a b. Don't think that again power is 2 pi nt like that. Powers of dimensions, powers dimensions, powers of dimensions m, l and t on both side. So first, at what I do, I will compare power of t. Power of t. Okay, what is the power of t on the left hand side of the equation? It is 1. So I will write 1 is equal to. Is there any power to the k term? That is time? No. Leave it. L is there. There is no time limit, time dimensions in this length. So don't consider. Now here is there. Okay. Power is minus 2 for the time. Minus 2 into b will be minus 2b. So I will write minus 2b on the right hand side. If you have any one term, one more term, time related dimension here, then a will also come into the picture. But here there is no dimension related to time, so I have not considered. So what will be the value of b? B is equal to minus 1 by 2. This is a value. So next what I do, I will compare power of L. Power of L. Is there any dimensions related to length here? No. So take left hand side 0 because there is no length. K, leave it as it is a constant. So in the power of A, there is a L dimension. So it is power of L is only 1. So 1 into A. And in the second dependent variable here, L is there, but power is 1. 1 into B. 1 into B is B. So A plus B is equal to 0. So using this equation, I can calculate A. A is equal to minus B, and value of A is B is 1 minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 to 1 by 2, A value will be plus 1 by 2. So using these dimensions analysis, we have calculated arbitrary power value, arbitrary constants values A and B. So what we do now, once you find the value of A and B, substitute in equation number 1 here. What is the equation number 1? From equation 1. Okay. Equation 1 is here. Time as it is, you write. K constant also you write as it is. L is there, you write L. What is the value of A? A is 1 by 2. Right? L A to the power of 1 by 2. L to the power of 1 by 2. In place of A, I am writing 1 by 2. And G, you write as it is. What is the value of power or constant B? Minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2. Okay. This is equal to, I will write K as it is, this term. L to the power of 1 by 2, with your permission, I can write square root of L. G to the power of minus 1 by 2, G to the power of 1 minus 1 by 2, I can take 1 by G to the power of 1 by 2. 1 by G to the power of 1 by 2, I can write square root of G. So denominator, I will write root of G. Two square root are there, but in the one is numerator, another one is denominator. So I will make it a single square root, L by G. Okay. So the value of K depends from experiment. This value of K depends from experiment, what they have conducted for this given pendulum. So, and they give us 2 pi is the value of the constant K. So what will be the final expression for the time period T? T is equal to 2 pi square root of L by G is an expression or equation for the time period of this pendulum. L by G, it is square root. Okay, the constant's value will be given in the numerical. Sometimes you need to remember for some standard values, because the pendulum formula, it is standard values. T is equal to 2 pi square root of Lg. It is a standard value. You need to remember. That's the reason he has not given in this statement. Okay, this is a dimensional analysis using Bucking-Pai theorem, not Bucking-Pai theorem. It is Rayleigh method. It is Rayleigh method. Same form, same statement, same numerical. You can solve using Bucking-Pai theorem, but it is lengthy. Why you choose Rayleigh method is because number of variables are only 3. If the number of variables are less than 4 or less than 5 or maximum 4, then you go for Rayleigh method. This is one numerical.